How well would the Pittsburgh Steelers perform in today's NFL if the Killer Bees were all still in their prime and all still in the Pittsburgh Steelers? But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 150 likes and I'll do another one of these type of videos. And if you guys are wondering, I'm going to keep it all the Steelers schemes with, of course, Mike Tomlin as the head coach. And we got Pittsburgh's offensive playbook and defensive playbook. I'm not going to adjust anything here. And for the league settings, I'm just going to do fully auto for everything. I'm not going to touch anything. I just want to see how the Killer Bees will actually perform with everyone else in the NFL. How will they perform against Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the AFC? Injury is off, practice injury, just injury in general is gone. I did this type of rebuild with the Legion of Boom with the Seahawks in the modern day NFL. Throughout that entire rebuild, through 4 years, they had lost one game and were 4 Super Bowl champions in a row. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts that the Legion of Boom alone led the Seahawks to so many Super Bowls, not even their offense, so that's crazy. But starting off, we have the man CTE himself, Antonio Brown here. I know his face doesn't look exactly right, but still, I did the best that I could. He's got rack 'em up, he's got grab and go, recuperation, matchup nightmare, and red zone threat. And of course, he is a 99 overall, and this is what I got for the stats. If you want to pause it, you can. And now for Le'Veon Bell, this is what I have for him. His abilities: first one's free, goal line back, recuperation, reach for it, and human joystick. And finally, for Big Ben, other than the fact that he likes touching women in bars, Big Ben has superstar X Factor just like the rest of them, of course. And also, these overalls, 95 for Big Ben, 96 for Le'Veon Bell, and 99 for Antonio Brown. These were all the highest overalls that Madden has given all of these players. If you want to look it up, you can. But for his abilities, I gave him Omaha, Safety Valve, No Look Deadeye, Homer, Gunslinger, and Hot Route Master. Now, of course, I'm just keeping the triple Bs here as we have Najee Harris and the rest of the offense staying the same. I mean, he also has George Pickens, but it's not like we're going to be able to import Troy Polamalu here. I just want to see how well the Killer Bees by themselves do. But still, this is a really sick defense, having TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Dante Jackson, Joey Porter, Patrick Queen, and etc. This team is going to be really, really good. Let's see how many Super Bowls we can win with the Killer Bees in their prime against the modern day NFL. 4-2, top of the division at the midseason mark. Our offense, I mean, I guess it's the Steelers playbook. Offensive passing rank is 23rd. Our offensive rushing game is 13th, and our points per game is 16th. The defense is carrying us. Again, I'm not going to change the playbooks. This is just how it is. I'm not going to change anything unless it gets to a point where it's just completely unrealistic with how bad our offense is doing. Midseason stats: Big Ben is 22nd in touchdowns, 23rd in passing yards, and 36th in passer rating. Rough start for him. Le'Veon Bell not doing too amazing, but 4.9 per carry is great. Only 2 touchdowns, though, is a bit questionable. Then receiving-wise, Antonio Brown is leading the team, not to be too surprised there. Now, I am assuming it is the offense that is the problem here. Maybe I'll change the Dallas offensive playbook if it does continue to be a problem. But for the specialist, Antonio Brown's in the slot along with being the one, Le'Veon Bell. I want to make sure everything is right here. And it does look all right, but for some reason, the AI just agrees otherwise. I meant to say the AI disagrees otherwise, but for now, let's move into the playoffs. 12-5, top of the division. Bengals going 7-10 is crazy. And then the Browns making the AFC playoffs at 8-9 is also crazy, but good for them. Our offensive points per game has spiked to 10th. Our offensive passing game has gone up to 12th, and our offensive rushing game has gone up to 4th. So I guess the AI has adjusted to our team. Ben Roethlisberger not doing that hot. I mean, top 15 quarterback, but not top 10 from what I can see here. Only 4 interceptions is really nice. 6th best offense in the NFL. Defensively, what do we have? We have the 6th best defense as well. Still, I mean, I guess it's the Steelers playbook. Only throwing 4 interceptions is a nice season. 100 pass rating is nice as well. Le'Veon Bell with 9 touchdowns. Najee Harris is eating up the rest of the touchdowns, which is a bit of annoying. And then also Big Ben having 3 rushing touchdowns. Ran the ball 75 times. That has to be QB sneak. There's no way. But still, Le'Veon Bell, 1,500 yards, 5.3 per carry is nice. Antonio Brown, only 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. I expected way more than this. Do I even really need to look in the defense? I mean, I guess I'll just look at the sacks. 18 for TJ Watt, 11 for Cam Hayward is sick. Big Ben is sitting at 8th for league MVP. And for best running back in the AFC, Le'Veon Bell is sitting at number 2. You can't look at NFC and AFC at the same time whenever you're looking at best running back, because if you go to MVP, you only get these options. And for best wide receiver, Antonio Brown is not even top 10. But can we beat the Cleveland Browns in year number 1 with the Killer Bees, or will the Steelers still not have a playoff win? They finally get their first ever playoff win since 2016. Now, can they beat the 10-7 Jacksonville Jaguars to move on to the conference championship? No. Big Ben loses to Trevor Lawrence in the divisional round. That's actually kind of crazy. Let's move into the offseason. And the Ravens beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Steelers. In the AFC North, nobody retires. And honestly, since everything's already on auto, I mean, I can look at the team upgrades. It won't really matter, but I don't have to do the re-signings, don't have to do free agency or move into the draft. Le'Veon Bell is up to a 99 now. Big Ben is up to a 96 without the boost. Najee Harris, I may want to move down the depth chart just because I want Le'Veon Bell eating all the reps, but I think the Steelers playbook, I mean, it wasn't bad for us here. I think I'm just going to switch into the Dallas playbook because it just makes things a whole lot easier for your offense whenever you do this. I'm going to stick in multiple power run, though, which is the Steelers' offensive scheme. So I'm going to try that, see how much better our team improves. I don't know what I did for the Seahawks offense in my previous rebuild. Patrick Queen goes up to Superstar Dev. And then I can see no other upgrades for the team. Anyways, let's move into the next season. Year number 2 with the Killer Bees. Looks like the AI picked up this guy named Rashawn Knox. They drafted him in the 3rd round, so I guess that was good value for them. No other upgrades on offense from what I can see. Defensively, ooh, the AI got this guy named Floyd, and they got a guy named Glover. Is he middle? No, he's a left outside linebacker. Power rusher. They're drafting another edge rusher with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt in the 1st round too. That's crazy. Then we got Emmett Floyd here, strong safety out of Tennessee. He was picked in the 2nd round. I don't think I'm going to start any of these guys, especially not Glover over TJ Watt. Floyd maybe over Deshaun Elliott, maybe actually a better long-term move. So I'm going to do that. Defensively, we also got Glover on the defensive end here. I mean, I guess he's just going to play in rotation with everyone else. Specialist-wise, we are looking pretty good. I would say Glover, I'm going to move up. Harris, I'm honestly going to move Najee Harris down. Maybe Jalen Warren eats up touchdowns. Either way, I don't want someone eating up this many touchdowns. Roman Wilson should have started, but it's fine. I'll leave it the way it is. Let's see how the Killer Bees do with the Dallas playbook going into the next season. Le'Veon Bell is basically 100 overall with that XP point. Year number 2, let's just move into the playoffs. And we seem to have gotten worse as we're now 11-6, and my defense just sucks magically because that's just how Madden works. If your offense is in a good playbook, it doesn't make any sense. If your offense is in a good playbook and you touch nothing with the defense, it suddenly makes your defense bad. It makes no sense. I'm switching back to the Pittsburgh offense just so that way I can just keep it realistic, I guess. I mean, our offense improved, but like, why did our defense suddenly go to shit? I didn't change anything on defense. Ravens finish 14-3 top of the division. Bengals 8-9. Browns 7-10 coming off a Week 18 win against them. Stats and awards. Big Ben, great in this playbook here. He is 2nd for league MVP behind Patrick Mahomes, the guy who put him down in his final game of his career. And I mean, it's good that we're in the Dallas playbook, but it makes our defense 28th in the NFL. It makes no sense that if we adjust our offensive playbook, our defense is terrible. So I'm going to keep it in the Pittsburgh offense so that way that doesn't happen. 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, 118 pass rating almost for Big Ben. Great season from him. Le'Veon Bell, 12 touchdowns, 5.4 per carry, 1,400 yards, and then 271 attempts. So I guess moving Najee Harris down was the good move, even though they did get some touchdowns in. So either way, Le'Veon Bell with a nice season. Antonio Brown, 103 receptions, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Roman Wilson providing nice stats as well. Antonio Brown. So again, the defensive playbook for the Steelers remains the same. The scheme remains the same. I changed the offensive playbook, so it's pretty frustrating that I'm going to have to switch back to the old stats. But TJ Watt, 15.5 sacks. Alex Highsmith with 8.5 sacks. Cam Ward with 8.5 sacks as well. But switching back to the Pittsburgh offense, just because the defense randomly sucked for no reason. Can we beat the Bills in the wildcard round? We do. 20-17 here to face the 12-5 Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill and Tua to move on to the conference championship potentially. And we do. 49-0. I mean, hey, if we switch back to the Pittsburgh offense and we drop 49 points on the Dolphins and shutting them out to 0, Yeah, I'll take that. And we're still ranked the 22nd worst defense in the league for points per game. Here to face the 17-0 league MVP Patrick Mahomes to move on to the Super Bowl. Can we beat the Chiefs at their home stadium, or will Patrick Mahomes sit Big Ben down again? It's a rough start, 14-0. Offense is not clicking right now, finally scoring 7 on the board. Still a 2-score game. Now it's a 1-score game right before half. We open up half, taking the lead, 21-17, our first lead of the game, 21-20. Defense has to hold strong here. Offense is going to separate the difference a little bit more. Oh, we can run the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Okay, I thought it wasn't going to let me hop in. 24-20. We're going to end the league MVP in their 17-0 winning streak, and the Killer Bees will be going to the Super Bowl. And the Eagles wanted their revenge match against the 17-0 Chiefs, but we're not going to give that to them. Instead, they're going to have to play the Killer Bees. Big Ben is up to a 99 with the boost. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell have been a 99. Pat Freiermuth goes up to Superstar Dev if he didn't already have it. Alex Highsmith goes up to Superstar Dev, and then Minka Fitzpatrick goes up to X Factor. Floyd comes with Superstar Dev. He's already a higher overall than Deshaun Elliott with the boost, so I guess that was a good move. But we are a 91 overall team across the board. Can we beat the Philadelphia Eagles and give the Killer Bees their first ever Super Bowl win here? Well, not obviously their first ever Super Bowl win as the Killer Bees, but for this simulation, can we give them their first Super Bowl win in year number 2? Here we are against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Steelers playbook seemed to be working good again, so I'm just going to rock out with these despite how low the stats were on the stat sheet year number 1, but it's 14-10 in the second quarter, 21-10. We're going to open up half as well with another touchdown, 28-10, 35-10, blowing out the Eagles in the Super Bowl. They have no chance of coming back here, 35-17, and your Killer Bees will get their first Super Bowl ring in this simulation. CTE, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and the toucher, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Together, they will win 1 Super Bowl down. We still have 2 more seasons to go to see how many Super Bowls the Killer Bees can win in this modern day NFL simulation. Your Super Bowl MVP is Big Ben. League MVP is Mahomes, despite Big Ben beating him and winning the Super Bowl and being runner-up for it. TJ Watt wins Defensive Player of the Year, and that's all for the Steelers. Still, again, 2 more years left to go. In the AFC North, Russell Wilson retires as a backup and retires with a Super Bowl ring, so good for him. Didn't he win one with the Seahawks? Yeah, he did. He won 1 with the Seahawks, then lost 1. I believe it was against the Broncos, and then it was the goal line pick against the Patriots that he lost. But anyways, let's move in to year number 2. I meant year number 3, my bad. Year number 3 with the team, almost a 99 overall across the board. Big Ben is at a 98. I mean, overall, the offense looks exactly the same. Defensively, we got this guy named Dockery, Alan Dockery out of BYU. He was a 2nd-round pick, and we were at pick 32, so he was our 1st-round pick. I'm assuming they had normal dev, considering I can't see them off the rip. And, I mean, do I just adjust lineup and that will fix it? Maybe it will. But Floyd, Superstar Dev, already a higher overall than Deshaun Elliott, so that was a good move to have him there. Offensively, yeah, making sure we look the same. And then specialist, offensively, we did lose Najee Harris, and we also lost, oh, this guy out of Missouri, Dave Abraham, was probably our 1st-round pick. Yeah, he was our 1st-round pick to replace Najee Harris, and we also lost, why am I blanking? We also lost Jalen Warren is who I was looking for, Chris Boswell. So we did lose 2 of our backup running backs. It's not that big of a deal, so I guess that means that's going to be more reps for Le'Veon Bell. Sure, Abraham's going to get some reps. I really don't care about that. But for now, let's move in to year number 3 in the playoffs with the Killer Bees. And we go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. EA Sports. We have 16th in offensive points per game, but our passing game and our rushing game is top 10. Our defensive points per game is 15th. Our defensive passing game is 26th. The stats and awards, Big Ben looks like a top 10 QB. I mean, 4th best offense in the NFL. 23rd defense. I guess it doesn't matter whether or not I have a Dallas playbook or the Pittsburgh Steelers playbook, because regardless, my team will just suck no matter what. Now I'm going back to the Dallas playbook, which got us into the playoffs last year, but while I was in the playoffs, I switched back to the Steelers playbook and we made it to the Super Bowl. So I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I feel like EA just draws out of a hat about which team is better than the other, because there's no actual logical thinking behind this simulation giving teams wins and losses. It doesn't make any sense. Big Ben, 4,100 yards, 31 touchdowns to 10 receptions, 105 pass rating. Le'Veon Bell, 12 touchdowns, 6.2 per carry is amazing, 1,600 yards. Antonio Brown, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Calvin Austin's getting some reps as well. And for the sacks, TJ Watt, 14.5 sacks, 11.5 sacks for Cam Hayward, and 7 for Alex Highsmith. And the Ravens beat Caleb Williams and the Bears in the Super Bowl. Marlon Humphrey wins the Super Bowl MVP. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Steelers. In the AFC North, Cody Whitehair retires with the Browns. For the team upgrades, offensively, we look the exact same. Defensively, Alex Smith gets Superstar X Factor only after having only 7 sacks on the season. Dockery is Superstar. It looks like the AI is just a baller at selecting players for me. Fourth and final year for the Killer Bees. Year number 1, we lost in the divisional round. Year number 2, we won the Super Bowl. In year number 3, we just didn't make the playoffs, which was so stupid. It looks like the AI is already planning to replace Ben Roethlisberger with Ricky Lawrence, quarterback out of Montana. Overall, it doesn't look bad, not too fast, not too strong either, not as tall as Big Ben, of course. And he was picked in the 4th round, so I guess it wasn't a priority pick, but still. Anton Sewell here, or Sewell out of Penn State, 5'11", 192, and he was picked in the 1st round for us, so I guess that's another addition to the team that we can add. And then they also got Tatum, and they got this guy named Rodgers as well. Rodgers was picked in the 2nd round, Ben Rodgers. I mean, the AI is just a baller at picking, I guess. I guess I should just let the AI pick from now on. Specialist, Dockery's in the slot, and then I guess I'll keep Antonio Brown at the 1 and in the slot. Why not? Just more reps. Everyone else looks good. I'm in the Dallas offense. And I'm sure some people may be mad that like the Killer Bees missed the playoffs with a fully healthy team, especially with the modern defense that they have now, and it's also been approved throughout the simulation. But still, it's just Madden simulations, just drawing numbers out of a hat and then choosing who gets what based on maybe some overalls or maybe some positional values. The schemes and playbooks are just completely broken in Madden simulation, and they will never be fixed because AAA company EA just doesn't want to do any of their work and wants you to pay for a $70 game each year, whenever realistically Madden is like a $30 game every single year. But still, we're going to run the Dallas offense because we won the Super Bowl and made the playoffs that year with the Dallas offense. Well, we made the Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh offense, but made the playoffs. Well, you can't get to the playoffs unless you use the Dallas playbook, evidently, from what I've seen in the previous year. So 4th and final year, let's move into the playoffs. 14-3, top of the division with the Dallas playbook. And as always, I mean, the defense, it's improved in points per game. The defensive rushing game is 22nd, though. Our offensive points per game is 4th. And the 1st round bye goes to the Chiefs. That's to be expected. Maybe they had another 17-0 season that we can ruin again. For the stats and awards, Big Ben here, 10th best offense in the NFL and 14th best defense, which isn't right, but still almost 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, 106 pass rating. Le'Veon Bell, 14 touchdowns, only 4.6 per carry this year, still not bad. 324 attempts, so I guess he just got fed a lot more here than 1,500 yards. Antonio Brown, 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's a great season for him. Not as good as the real Antonio Brown, but still, it's good enough. And defensively, TJ Watt with 12.5 sacks, Alex Highsmith with 11, Cam Hayward with 4.